name is Gayathine, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about some of the books I read near the end of August. So in this video I'm going to talk about these 3 books. Probably if I finish anything else I'll add it to this video. But I wanted to film this now. I'm sorry about the lack of natural lighting. There is some over there, but I feel like you can't really see it. At least that's how it seems to me on the camera screen. So yeah, I hope it's okay for one video. It's still early in the morning, but I wanted to do this video now because I have other commitments later. So yeah. I also want to say that possibly after this video goes up, there may not be videos up for a bit. Because, well, if you've noticed, if this isn't your first video from me, which it most likely isn't, I upload a video every Thursday at 12 o'clock my time. That's 12 o'clock in the afternoon, which is the Netherlands, GMT +1. Although it's summertime now, so that might change things. Anyway, and for example, was it June or July, I did just one wrap up for the whole month. And so it's kind of getting caught up, if that makes sense. Also, this light buzzes, which is why I only have it on when I really need it, like for filming or if I have a digital meeting using my laptop. So other times it is off because I can't stand the buzzing. But I don't think the camera will pick it up, but well, if it does, then you know what that is. I'm sorry, I don't usually film here. I usually film in my room or at the conservatory at my parents' house. Anyway, I have done more videos here before. Yeah, so the videos have kind of been getting caught up, so soon I will, from when you see this, I may like need to read more and film it and edit it before I can have a new video up, if that makes sense, because I had a bit of a reading slump in August, although I'm starting to get out of it. But anyway, just so you know, so this video will go up on a Thursday, but yeah, after that there may not be videos for a bit until I read more and have time and energy to film and edit and stuff. So yeah, all right, so I'm talking about these 3 books, and interestingly they all have like a red or pink spine. This one has a pink spine, these 2 have a red spine, which that's just how it happened. I'm going to talk to you in the order that I finished them. Timestamps will be in the description of the video down below, as usual. So the first book is a Dutch one, and it is called Het Chateau by Jet van Vuuren. This is a literary thriller, as it says there. This is about 3 widows who only vaguely know each other more from like online, and they decide to, with the 3 of them, spend a week in a castle in, I think it's in Limburg, yeah, and it's like kind of a getaway. They also apply for a course while they're there the course will be while they're there, they apply for it beforehand. But I don't know what it's called, Wildborduren. I have no idea what the translation for that is. I hadn't heard of it until I started reading this book. I had heard of borduren, but I don't know what the word for that is in English, and I can't look at my laptop because the camera is kind of resting on it, so not quite on it, but yeah, I can't get to it. So it's some kind of craft, but it's not knitting. But yeah, I'm not sure. If I can figure it out later, I will try to put it up on the screen somewhere. This course is being given by this artist, who is also an interesting character. So we follow the perspective of the 3 women, and then from this artist who he's giving the course. And all 3 women have well, they're obviously different characters, but they all have like a different like story regarding their widowness. So, for example, one of them, Mago, she really misses her husband. They had a great relationship, and then so we have Mago. Then we have Alice and Debbie. The two of them don't miss their husband as much. Well, you kind of find things out as you go, but yeah, I think it's relatively in the beginning. So Alice's husband was a, I don't think it's a priest, but I don't know the exact name in English for it. In Dutch, it's called a dominee, but I'm not sure what the equivalent. Yeah, no, not pastor. Well, he was involved with the church. That was his job. This is a word I would have to look up. Yeah, I can't remember exactly how far in the book you find certain things at, so I guess I will just leave it at that. Although this is a Dutch book, most likely it hasn't been translated. I haven't checked, but so yeah, there is that. There is a book in English in this video as well. But yeah, I enjoyed this. It was a nice read. Hey, this is guys, I think quickly after filming, I forgot to actually tell you that in at Chateau, like where the suspense actually is. The premise is that not all of these full characters that will be in slash with the Chateau will leave it alive. So yeah, back to the video. It definitely gets suspenseful later on. The quote that it says here is that like you're suspended from the first page kind of thing. I disagree with that. I actually tried to read like the beginning of this book a while ago when I was trying to see what book I was in the mood for, and I read like the first chapter of several books, and then I ended up not picking this one. It just wasn't grabbing me at the time, it wasn't my mood. That happens, but like the suspense to me comes a bit more later on and not straight away in the beginning. Although we do see that each of the characters, so we follow the 4 characters, that they have, some of them have like some secrets, and that's one of the things that I like in books. It has an easy to read writing style. Yeah, it's not, so this is the 3rd book I'm reading by her. I think it's the 3rd book I'm reading by her, but anyway, so I've read a couple before, and I enjoy her books. They're not like amazing best reads ever for me, but they are just very enjoyable thrillers to me, literary thrillers. They are fast reads. They're in Dutch. The chapters are short. Well, I say chapters, but in this book actually, it's not the chapters that are short, but like within a chapter we follow the perspectives of several different people. So I'll just show you what I mean. So here it starts chapter 1, and then we first follow Margot, or Mago as I would call her. And then a couple pages later we switch to Alice. And then a couple pages after that we go to Debbie. That's the 3 widows? Widows? Yeah, I think that's the... And then the cursory text, I don't know if you can really make that out, but this section here is goes... Did you say cursor? It's at an angle. We say cursive in Dutch, but I'm not sure now. Italics, that's what I mean. I'm sorry. Italics it is in English, I remember now. That's from the perspective of the artist that gives the course. And then here we go back to Margot. And then we go back to Alice. Then we go back to the artist. Then we go to Debbie. So, like, the actual chapter doesn't end until a while, but because there are all these sort of like shoulder bits from each character, it feels like short sub-chapters, if that makes sense. And I enjoy that. It makes you feel like you're more making progress. I prefer just short like chapters or bits rather than really long chapters. But anyway, so yeah, some of the husbands weren't very nice people. Anyway, yeah. This was an enjoyable read for me. Yeah. I liked it a lot. The next book, and I see that I've already been rambling for more than 10 minutes, and I've only gone through one book, so yay for that, is Percy Jackson and the Battle of the Labyrinth by Riordan. This is book 4 in the Percy Jackson the Olympians series. This was a buddy read with Emily from Novelle Novels, linked to her channel down below in the description. Here is the 5 books. I don't know if, so this is book 1, book 2, book 3, book 4, 5, in the editions that I have them in. So this was book 4, and we both really enjoyed this. This is a middle grade fantasy series. Percy Jackson is the son of a Greek god. He's a demigod, so his mother is mortal. This series is based on Greek mythology, and like all the gods of that are all real, all the creatures and everything. This book has to do with an ancient labyrinth that is kind of underground. Yeah, it continues the story from previous books. The next book is the last one in the series, and I really look forward to read that one and see how it all will wrap up. Yeah, I think this is like the movie edition, which I didn't know when I bought them, but yeah, I don't know if the colors come off well because of the lighting situation. That isn't ideal, but yeah, either way, both Emily and I really enjoyed this. It was a fast read. They always are. Quite a bit of action. Percy Jackson has ADHD, but it actually has to do with him because he is the son of a Greek god, that his brain is wired for reading the Greek alphabet. Anyway, I have ADHD. Well, I have ADD, so that's just an aspect of this series that I enjoy. And Greek mythology is one of those things that I'm really interested in. When I was in high school, I had ancient Greek as a course. I had to choose between Latin and ancient Greek. So I had a couple of years of Latin, and then I chose to do ancient Greek. So I then had more years of that. And in those lessons, in after class, we were also taught about Greek mythology and many other aspects of the culture, as well as that we translated ancient Greek texts. I've mentioned this before, I think in the comments to several people's videos, but I don't know if I've actually ever mentioned it in a video. I don't remember doing so when talking about the earlier 3 books in the series, so I thought I'll just throw it in there now. But if it turns out I did talk about it then, this is something you've heard me say before, then I'm sorry, I apologize, I didn't remember. Anyway, so yeah, I was taught stuff in class, but I also, yeah, this tends to happen with like something that I'm very interested in. I went to the library at the time and I borrowed books that I could find on Greek myths. So I've read quite a few of them back in those days, and these were books for adults, and I was a teenager, and well, back then I didn't have the means to buy many books for myself as well. So yeah, anyway, so a lot of like the people that I know of or remember from these Greek myths make like appearances in this series, and I really enjoy that. Although I can imagine if you don't know anything about it, you can totally still follow this series, just you won't get that like sort of nostalgic feeling that I have with it. I didn't read this series when I was younger. Well, when I was of middle grade age, this series wasn't out yet. This was published, well, the original is for this book in 2008. This edition published 2013, which is presumably when the movie came out. In 2008, I want to say in my early 20s. So, yeah, but anyway, yeah. Love this. Yeah, ready look forward to reading the 5th and final book in this series. Maybe I didn't specify it with this series, but it just takes place on like Earth nowadays. Percy lives in the United States, so I don't know if I mentioned that at all, if that came across. So it takes place like nowadays, but the gods are real, sort of thing. Okay, I will leave links to the videos down below where I talked about the other 3 books of the series. And the 3rd book of today is Out of the Box by Magali de Reu. This is a Belgian book. I don't know if Flemish is actually considered like a separate thing from Dutch or not, but either way, I doubt this has been translated. Despite that the title might make you think it's in English, I just wanted to make sure that I say that it's not in English. This is 2021, so it's a relatively recent release. This is written by a woman who has autism and ADHD, and so it's part memoir, but it also has like tips and like information, ideas for autistic people, how to deal with certain things, as well as like for the like family and stuff of an autistic person, family, friends, how to help them, if that makes sense. My brain isn't all that today, is it? I also like that, I don't know if you can see that, there are some orange bits there, which is like the, yeah, I just like that. Now there aren't like lots of books written by, like lots of non-fiction books written by people who have both autism and ADHD. I think I need some water. Okay, I've got my water. So yeah, I think I only know of a handful. I've read some. Anyway, I found this book through a book review of a website that is by an autistic person. And I bought his books as well. I haven't read those yet. So yeah, I was highly anticipated this and I really liked it. Definitely a lot of recognition since I'm also autistic and have ADD. So I don't have the hyperactive and impulsive part. So those bits I relate to less, but there were quite a few things in here that I related to. And yeah, I love feeling that. Tips wise, I didn't find it like as useful as I was maybe hoping, but the thing is, a lot of these tips I already do, so that's not really the fault of the book. This is something that therapist is not like the right word, but like before I was with the current one that I'm with, a lot of the people that I saw in the past, they couldn't make any more suggestions than what I was already doing and had thought of I and my parents. But it means at least that what I'm doing is definitely working and helpful. I've of course read already a lot about books on the subject as well, and I like reading blogs and stuff, so I already do a lot of things. But yeah, I really liked this book, and particularly those bits where I could recognize myself. The author is an extrovert, I'm an introvert, very much so. So there, like some of those aspects I didn't relate to as much, but that's fine. It's just because 2 people are both autistic, they can still be completely different people. Just that they have like some things in common. Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, that recognition was really nice. The author, she also struggles with like too much input, and yeah, that reminds me, I should probably still make a video talking about my being autistic and ADD, but yeah, I have attempted things in the past and I was never quite happy with it. So anyway, yeah, in short, I really enjoy this, and it's in Flemish. I say that because to me as a Dutch person, every now and then there's a word I'm like, wait, what? And I can either infer from context or look at, I did look up a couple terms, which is just, I just find that interesting. Yeah, if you're not Dutch or Flemish, but if you only speak English, then this might not mean much to you. But I find languages also interesting, so yeah. for example, they have like seemingly a different word for onion than we do, and I say we as in Dutch. And so at some point it says that she went to, I don't know if it was a market or supermarket or something, to buy onions, but then it was like the word that they use, and I was like, wait, what's she buying? I need to know now, because I was curious what that word meant, so I looked it up. I like that each chapter is subdivided into bits, and so each section is not like that long, and I enjoy that. Now and then there is here is like some like facts, and did you know this kind of thing, and sometimes stuff is like in this kind of orange tip. They're called O-tip, so like an autistic tip. I like that play on words. She actually, the author, she is a copywriter. She works for herself. Does that make sense? Is that called freelancer? She has her own company. She does copywriting, so she likes to write, and she likes languages and puns and things like that. And since I also like those things, no, I'm not a copywriter, but I mean I also like languages and puns and such, so I enjoyed that. I enjoyed her writing style, and like her, I also, if I see, let's say I read a document or something, I can also like see the spelling errors and like typos and stuff really quickly, like she can as well. So we related on, like, we had some similarities, and yeah, I really appreciated, especially those things where I thought, oh, I have that too, or yeah, I can totally imagine it. Like, yeah, there was also a part in here about being autistic and queer, because for those who don't know that, a higher percentage of autistics are queer than of the neurotypical population, if that makes sense, if you get what I mean. And there's a part in this book about that. I can't remember now exactly where, but she talks about that, and she mentions some research. There is a references part for when she mentions like certain research and stuff. Then here in the back it's listed like what article, what book that came from. On occasion there is like certain like resources, and those are in Belgium, which makes sense considering it's a Belgian book, but for me from the Netherlands, that's not. I just wanted to point that out, which that's definitely not fault in the book. I mean, this is a Belgian publisher. I think it's really nice how, like in the Netherlands and the Flemish part of Belgium, we can like read each other's books and stuff, if that makes sense. I don't know if it happens to the same extent in like the French part of Belgium. We call it Wallonia. I don't know what it's called in their language. And with like French books, I don't know. But I just find that interesting. Yeah. And yeah, so yeah, this was great. So in short, all these books were great. And yeah, don't worry if you don't see any videos from me after this one for a bit. But maybe I'm saying all this and there will be a video up, I don't know. But I just kind of want to take the pressure off myself. So hence why I'm saying that now. Because some of you might have gotten used to seeing a video from me every week. So yeah. Thank you very much for watching this video. Leave a comment if you like if you like. And I hope to see you in my next one. Bye.